What is the best driver for a mid-handicap golfer to use in 2018 going into 2019? Let's find out, and let's do it now. Oh wow, what a ball flight this is! Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and you've not seen any of my content before, make sure you consider hitting that subscribe button. Ring the little notification bell and then you'll get a notification every time I upload new content. If you're on Twitter, make sure you check out my Twitter page, and if you're a fan of Instagram, I am on there as well, so you will find me putting content on there. Today, let's get back to this video comparing the Titleist TS2, the Mizuno ST180, the PING G400 Max, and Mark's very own Taylormade M2 driver. Let's do it. Okay guys, I'm here with Mark. Mark is my mid-handicap tester. If you've not seen our review on mid-handicap irons for 2019, make sure you go check that out. I will put a link above. And if you've not seen our comparison between the Taylormade P790 forgiving iron and the Taylormade P730 players iron, make sure you also check that out. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks James.
Good man. Are you looking forward to testing some mid-handicap drivers?
I'm looking forward to testing them and see how they go against the driver I currently have in my bag.
Good man. So I don't really know why we call these mid-handicap drivers. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I'm not a fan on calling clubs by the handicap bracket that they are in. Mark's a mid-handicap golfer, but that may be because you're terrible at putting. Not that you are terrible at putting, but it could be down to a specific reason. The reason why I think personally these could be mid-handicap irons, they're a little bit bigger, they're 460cc heads, so they are that little bit more forgiving. Mark, can you tell people what driver you're using at the moment?
Currently I have the Taylormade M2. I was fitted for this at the end of 2017.
Yeah.
It's a 9.5 degree loft, ramped up by 2 degrees, so it comes off at 11.5 degrees, which gives me a slight draw face on it, and I have the stiff flex shaft 50 gram.
Perfect.
Lightweight shaft.
So we're going to try and match these clubs up as much as we can to that specs today. Okay, shall we hit a few of yours first and then get into the comparison?
Let's see what it's like.
Just before we start, Mark, what are your thoughts on boxing glove head covers?
I think the easier they are to get on and off, the better.
I hate them.
So, you hate them, I prefer socks, to be honest.
Okay, away we go. Before we start, Mark, can you tell people about the tea colour you're using and why?
Yeah, I use the orange tea. It's perhaps slightly higher than it might be, than you might want to recommend to me. I find with the orange tea peg it lifts the ball slightly higher, which allows me to hit the ball much better on an upward stroke for me.
Yes, love it. Okay Mark, away you go. We'll hit 5 of each. Not a bad strike. Nice, that's a great shot.
Better.
Is that the kind of shot you like? A little
Yes.
Nice and high and then just falling down at the end to the right? Yeah. That's a great shot.
So with my drive, I tend to have that fade tail off at the end.
Yeah, just a little bit of a, yeah.
I'm trying to get it away from.
Yeah.
I'd rather know the ball's going in a straight line to where I'm aiming rather than dropping.
Yes. Because it
right.
can rob you of a little bit of distance as well, can't it?
Yeah. So I like the club. It's done the best for me.
Yeah.
Of the clubs I've had, drivers I've had. But just that tailing off at the end there is something I'd like to try and deal with.
Yeah, that's a nicer flight. Okay guys, that's 5 shots hit with Mark's own driver, the Taylormade M2 from last year. Let's take a look at what the numbers are saying. So average for Mark there, 220 yards. Mark was saying to me that when he feels like he's swinging well and hitting it good, 230, 240s on the cards, which I can definitely see there. That last swing was the best swing. It didn't have the movement on it to the right, and we're talking 232 yards, so he's not far away from where he thinks he's hitting it. Spin rate's 3,203, so that's quite high. I think if we brought that spin rate down and maybe kept the launch as high as it is, we'd be looking for a much better distance. Club and ball speed, both pretty impressive with these for Mark. 97 for club speed and 137.5 average for the ball speed. Let's take a look at the Mizuno ST180 and see how that compares to Mark's own M2. So we'll now hit the other 3 clubs, we'll see how they compare to Mark's own M2, and we'll get back in my nice warm office and talk numbers, because it's freezing out here, isn't it, Mark? It is cold. Let's do it. So Mark, first thoughts on the Mizuno ST180, and there's an elephant in the room, it's blue.
Yeah.
Matches your hat well though.
It matches the hat. The head, I like the blue. I think the blue it makes it quite attractive for me. I like the look of it, and the matte finish I think is pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks expensive, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It looks a lot lower on the face.
Okay. Definitely higher. A little bit heely, that was.
That was a bit heely, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't seem to come off as hot, that, did it?
No. No, they're getting a little bit all over the place, aren't they?
Good hit. That's a great.
That's the best.
This is the one we judge it on, isn't it?
This is the best of the Mizuno shots, yeah.
Yeah. Furthest shot of the day.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So before we get back home in the office and talk numbers for the Mizuno ST180 for a mid-handicap golfer, Mark, how did it feel?
I didn't feel as confident using it as I did with my own club with the M2. The swing weight wasn't quite the same. Felt as though I was trying to put a little bit more effort into the shot than I would have liked to, and I think the results kind of show it. It wasn't all that good, the distance wise. When I did strike it well though, it went a long way. Yeah. So it's just consistency.
Which for a mid-handicap golfer, I suppose you would expect?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
More confident with my own club though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's better, Mark. Okay guys, so numbers for the Mizuno ST180. Looking at them, total distance 215, not fantastic. If I compare that to Mark's numbers of the Taylormade M2, that's 5 yards short of that, and a carry distance of 188, which again is short of Mark's Taylormade M2. Spin rate of 3,600, again higher than Mark's. Ball speed is down, club speed is down. Mark just didn't suit this driver whatsoever. Which one would you like to try next, Mark?
Let's try the Titleist next.
Titleist TS2.
That's the one.
So initial thoughts on the look of the Titleist TS2, Mark? I know you warmed up with the TS3 and you enjoyed that one, didn't you?
Yes, a little bit earlier. I did like that, and I hit that. I seemed to hit that quite nicely. I mean, I like the shiny carbon top, the full black look. It's nice. Interested to see how I react to that when I'm trying to swing it and hit a ball.
Oh wow, what a ball flight this is.
Nice shot, like that.
Oh. Guys, just take a look at this ball flight. Nice little draw, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
That's unusual for me with a driver.
Yeah.
The fact that that the face is black in comparison to the crown, I don't have an issue with that. It looks more of a complete
some people
head
would have
against
a
the
problem.
white ball.
Perfect.
So I'm okay with it.
Held its line quite well,
So it's no tailing off at all.
Yeah, that was incredible. This will be interesting. Was that toey?
That was toey.
A little bit toey, yeah.
It was. It was definitely.
Still held its line fairly well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there with the others.
Right.
Very good. Let's hit one more, Mark.
One more. Okay.
I've got a feeling you like this one.
I do like this a lot. Yes.
Nice. It's almost like a knuckleball, that, isn't it?
Yeah. That's really nice. Yeah,
really
I like
nice.
that a lot. The club head, the club speed through the ball, just felt right. Okay, so that's 5 shots hit with the Titleist TS2. Pretty impressive, I must say. Just standing back and taking note of the ball flights that Mark has been hitting. None of those ball flights tailed off. One of them looked like it was going to go right, and it just kind of held its line. I think that was fair to say, wasn't it? Ball speed, you know what, I'm going to talk you through the numbers in a second, back in the office with a coffee. But Mark, what did you think to the Titleist TS2? I like this club a lot. It felt good in the hand. I like the head. The swing weight was good for me. And so therefore just striking, playing through the ball was easy with this. I struck the ball confidently on every shot, even the ones I didn't hit well. When we come to talk about the numbers in just 1 second, there's one shot where you hit
it was quite harshly out the toe, wasn't it?
It was.
Ball speed stayed the same, and the numbers, you couldn't really pick it out of the numbers, which I'll show people in a second. But
which kind of indicates quite a lot of forgiveness, if you like.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what this club's about. A lot of people in the past have said Titleist is more a players club, and they don't play Titleist because it's very much for pros and for low handicaps, but I think this kind of blows that out of the water, doesn't it?
Certainly, yes, I'd be very happy to play this club.
Okay. Oh, sorry guys, I'm supposed to be talking through the numbers of the Titleist TS2 driver. Let's take a look. The numbers for Mark, my mid-handicap tester of the Titleist TS2 driver: 205 carry, 235 total, average. Pretty darn good. And to be honest, this was a joy to watch because Mark clearly enjoyed this club. It was absolutely smashing it, to be fair, and even his miss hits were still going quite a long way. They were maintaining ball speed, which is what the Titleist TS project drivers are all about. And for some reason, they never tailed off to the right. So if you're struggling with a shot that does tail off to the right at the end, maybe the TS2 may be something to consider. Spin rate 3000, still fairly high but dropping a little bit. Club speed 93 and ball speed 137. So ball speed massively up on the Mizuno and similar to the Taylormade M2, which Mark is already gaming. Okay guys, so we've just finished with the Titleist. Those were some impressive numbers, weren't they? I think that might be Mark edging towards that as a favourite. Let's take a look at the PING G400 Max, then we'll have a full roundup of all these drivers. Initial thoughts on the look of the G400, Mark?
It looks a bit like a pancake to me. It looks a lot flatter, and the tail is a long way away from the face.
How do the turbulators make you feel?
I'm not really too bothered about the shape on the crown at all. I think it's the length of it that just makes me think, what's this all about? The other thing I can definitely feel about this, it feels a lot heavier to me than the other clubs do.
That's an interesting side note.
So yeah, let's see what happens.
Your best swing, but that sounded like it came off hot.
Yeah.
Good hit?
Good hit, yeah. That was a good hit. It's quite a low
flight, isn't it? Yeah. It's lofted up as well.
Right.
Tailing off a little bit?
Tailing off a bit, yes. So much in line with my own club.
Yes. Yeah.
It went to distance though.
A bit toey again.
Bit toey again. Yeah.
I can relate this exactly to one of the shots you've just hit with the Titleist. So let's see. Yeah, just as good. Quite big to be fair. How does it feel this so far?
Honestly, it doesn't feel as nice to hit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit dead, and it feels less consistent.
Oh, I think dispersion.
I've hit shots left, I've hit shots right, and even when the straight shots go, they're drifting right at the end. So yeah, I'm not as keen on this.
Yes.
Just for confidence over the ball.
That's a nice swing to finish on, Mark.
And then that's the best shot I've hit with this iron, with this driver.
Yeah. Okay guys, that is a handful of shots hit with the PING G400 Max. Pretty impressive. Dispersion was not the best.
Wasn't the
I think that's fair to say. Mark, do you want to talk us through exactly how the driver felt? And then again, I'll get back in the office with the coffee and talk us through the numbers.
Certainly. It felt a bit stiff. I have to say that the whole thing. I didn't feel as confident swinging through it. It didn't feel as nice playing the swing or hitting the ball as the Titleist was. Having said that, the distances, it went a long way, but as you said earlier, the dispersion seems to be much greater with this club than the Titleist was. Yeah. Very nice, but not as good for me as the Titleist was.
No, that's fair to say. Yep. Oh, sorry guys, you've got me again there. Numbers for the PING G400 Max. Now the numbers on this club were absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to take your attention straight to the ball speed. 139.5, that's the highest we've had today. That's absolutely massive. Club speed's helping that, just shy of 98. Total distance 241. Carry distance 205, very similar to the Titleist TS2, but we're going to look at the total difference, 241. That's the highest of the day. However, for me, the dispersion on this club was massive. I wouldn't feel comfortable fitting Mark into this club because he would be missing fairways with it. Ball speed's one thing, spin rate down at 2685, which is absolutely phenomenal. but he just couldn't hit a fairway with it. He could not hit this driver straight, and Mark would back me up by saying that. Okay guys, just before we have a roundup, I'm going to jump in the office. I'm going to talk you through all the numbers. I'm going to tell you which driver I would recommend for Mark, and I'm going to do this without Mark knowing which one I say, so it's going to be really interesting to see which one he goes for in a second when I ask him which one he would pick. Let's find out. Okay everyone, so total numbers all together. What do I think, and what driver would I be fitting Mark for? So altogether, to be honest, I thought Mark's current M2, it held up a good fight, didn't it? If you're talking £300–400 change drivers, there really wasn't a lot in it. The Ping obviously had the best numbers, yes we know that. The Mizuno had the worst, and the Titleist was there in the middle. Now, needless to say, all these clubs have different shafts in them, they're all different heads. If we were doing a proper fitting session with loads of different shafts, I'm sure we could find Mark something that we could fit him into to increase his club speed, ball speed and distance. And not to mention get that spin rate exactly where we would want it. In fairness, that was pretty much what the PING G400 was offering. However, the Titleist TS2, I mean, it's difficult because you guys couldn't see the ball flights that Mark was hitting, but that one I showed you, this one here, they were all pretty much like that. And for Mark, somebody who struggles with a left to right ball flight, tailing off at the end, robbing him of distance, I could see him uplifted after hitting a couple of Titleist TS2 drivers. If that is the confidence that buying a new driver puts into Mark, absolutely go and get one. For me, I can't just fit on numbers, and nobody can just fit on numbers, because buying a new golf club, especially a driver, is about getting that golf club, taking it out onto the golf course and performing with it. And I think Mark would be able to do that more with the Titleist TS2. So for me, if I'm fitting Mark for any of these drivers today, I'm sending him away with the Titleist TS2. Now let's go back outside in the freezing cold and see what Mark thinks. Okay guys, we are back out here on the freezing cold range. It's not that cold, is it? It's
not that cold.
It's not that cold. We are back out here on the range. I have just talked you through all the numbers, and we know which driver I have just recommended for Mark. Mark's seen a little bit of the numbers, but he's going to go purely on how they felt, how he felt like they looked, and how the ball flights were for him. Mark, talk us through a little bit about each driver and then which one you would go for.
Okay, certainly. The PING G400, hit some good shots with it. Didn't particularly like the swing of the club, and didn't particularly like the sound off the face for me. And the dispersion was quite wide, and maybe that sort of general feeling of not being confident with the club in my hand has translated into the shots as played. The Taylormade M2, which is the club I currently have, very nicely, it's pretty consistent for me. The issue I have though with it is it tails off a little bit at the end. Like it, but would like to improve that if I can. The Mizuno, the Mizuno Blue, I really liked the colour on it. Wasn't quite as consistent for me. I just felt as though I was swinging the club rather than hitting a driver to test whether it was a better driver than mine or not.
The good shot was good, but the bad shots were bad, weren't they?
Bad, yeah, that's right. And then the Titleist TS2 seemed to be striking the ball just as well as my own driver, but it had the benefit of the ball not tailing off. And I was really happy swinging and playing the shot with it. So I would certainly look more closely at the Titleist TS2.
Okay guys, so there you have it. Mark would look more closely at the Titleist TS2 driver. Where have you heard that before? Yeah, so when I fit drivers, numbers aren't always everything. I'd be okay fitting Mark for the PING G400 Max. The numbers were fantastic. They were up there. He was hitting it a long way, the PING G400 Max. But there's no point hitting it a long way into the trees or into the rough. What we may look to do there is maybe look at different shaft options in that head, maybe look at the standard G400 head and see if that would offer anything. However, I think the G400 Max does offer that forgiveness that Mark would like on the off-centre hits. So, as you can see there, the best driver for mid-handicappers 2018 going into 2019, we've got to say it's the Titleist TS2. Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed that video. We hope you found it not only enjoyable, but insightful as well. By all means, if you do go and change a drive this winter, go get fitted, do plenty of testing, do not rush into it. Guys, I'm going to leave you in the hands of Mark to round us up. See you soon.
Go out there, try your drivers. I've really enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to the next slot. Thank you very much. See you next time. I didn't say subscribe.
And make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell.